right. Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rikakodash, and that's saying Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah, and Yahweh. Yahweh Shai is the name of his beloved Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ and Yeshua. And Rikakodash is the name of the Holy Spirit, all in the ancient Hebrew tongue, the Lashawan Kodash. All right, I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and ruled well. Okay. Peace and salutations to the Akim out here pushing this word in sincerity, truth, and in faith. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those of our people that very well may look exactly like the other nations, but their heritage through their father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Hebrew Israelites. I have another lesson, and I'm going to entitle it, by the way, this is a Kar Yasharla from the Great Millstone, Los Angeles camp. All right. I have another lesson. I'm going to entitle it, maybe if you hear it from the YT man. Okay. Talking about the history of the slave trade and the things that they don't teach you. Okay. How they just start the history from like the 16th and 17th century. Okay, when it goes further back than that. Okay. I'm going to let him tell it. Okay. Because it seems like Jake finally believes, we're the Israelites because Putin put up and he said that the Lord was a so-called black man. Okay. Then you get on the bandwagon. All right. But the apostles and the elders been saying that for years. Okay. Over 50 years. All right. So let's get into it.
And I want to give you a brief history. I won't go into it too much, but I can't just make that statement because there'll be people that will push back. But I want to give you a brief history on slavery. I was just amazed, I got to tell you. I mean, when you come to America and you talk to people about slavery, you can talk to black people about slavery, white people about slavery, and they'll give you all this history on slavery, and it only goes back to the 16th and the 17th century.
Fair use.
And you're like, don't they teach you the history of slavery? Why? Ask the bloody question. Why are they only teaching you the history of slavery as far back as the 16th and the 17th century? Why are they only going that far back? Because they don't want you to go farther back than that, because then you'll actually find out the truth. But from the 16th and 17th century, we'll teach you about slavery. You've got to go further back, and you've got to understand and question, why do they do this throughout the whole of America, in all the public schools? Why do they only go back as far as the 16th and the 17th century to talk about slavery? We've got to go further back than that. Because Islam designed infernal slavery. And then the Ashkenazi Khazars, those who say they are Jews and are not, are the ones that marketed it. And the regal Negro nomads, exiled from the kingdom of Judah, were the main recipients of it at the hands of the indigenous black Africans. Because you've got to understand, the regal class of the house of Judah came down from Israel, and they came into the land of the black Africans. And the black Africans resented the regal class of the House of Judah in their land because they had laws, they had customs, they had civility, and they were a regal class of Negro that came down into Africa. And later on, it was the Ashkenazi, the Islamic slave traders as well, that then worked together with the indigenous black Africans to enslave the regal House of Judah. This is what we've got to understand, but you've got to go back before the 16th century to understand the roots of it. So we're going to see, as we dig into this, where this slavery came from, because it was really a system that was very, very well crafted. There was Islamic masters, and there were white Ashkenazi Khazar ship owners. There were the buyers and the sellers. And they're not going to fill you in on all of this, but really you've got a four-tier system. Number one, you have the Negro nomads that were exiled from the kingdom of Judah. Number two, you had indigenous black African hunters that resented the regal Negro nomads that had come into their territory with their own customs, with their own laws that were different and would not assimilate into their tribal culture. They were their own tribe. They were the regal House of Judah. And number three, you had Islamic trappers that worked with the indigenous black Africans to trap the regal Negro House of Judah. And then you had them sell them to the Ashkenazi ship merchants, along with many Portuguese and British Ashkenazi. You see, it's just like Al-Qaeda today. Or is it ISIS? Or is it ISIL? Or is it IS? I mean, right? Let's just change the name as much as possible to throw you all off so you really don't know what's going on. Let's keep switching the identity to hide the people. Why don't we just keep renaming you? Are you Negro? Oh, no, you're not Negro. No, you're colored. No, you're not colored. You're African American. And this is what they name you.
Afro-American
the slavers
too.
name you this. Because I know a white guy who grew up in South Africa. And he now lives in America. He is an African American. And more African American than most. Do you see how African American is a misnomer? It's a misnomer. Don't check that box. It's a title given to blacks by democratic slavers. Okay? Let's be real. They want you to check the box just like they want the Anglo-Saxon to check the Caucasian box. It's not true. So, again, we've got the four-tier system. Number one, we have the regal Negro nomadic class that are exiled from the kingdom of Judah. They are their own royal tribe in Africa. Then, number two, we have the native black African trackers. They're going to track them down. And number three, we have the Islamic trappers, because between 650 of the Common Era and 1900 of the Common Era, 10 to 20 million people were enslaved by the Arab slave traders. Over 20 million enslaved Africans were delivered through the Trans-Sahara route to the Islamic world. Can you get your head around that? That's not even touching the Americas. Over 80 million more blacks died at the hands of Islam en route. And number four, we have Ashkenazi Khazar Jewish ship merchants. And of course, the Portuguese and the British Ashkenazi were the main buyers. Islam and the Ashkenazi, those that say that they are Jews and are not, were the main sellers. Does that make sense? You've got to dig into this further. We have the two tiers right there. We have the Islamic trappers, and then we have the Ashkenazi ship merchants. You see, the Romans, they were globalist slavers. They were globalists. Then and now. They just migrated to Gaul, Ashkenazi, the sellers, and Britain, the British, of course, the buyers. German Jewry and British Jewry, where have they gone to? Well, they've descended upon Wall Street, upon Hollywood and Washington, D.C., as we see it right now, just to fuel this cataclysmic final war of globalism, which is none other than renaming colonialism. And I want to give you a brief history. I won't go into it too much, but I can't just make that statement because there'll be people that will push back. But I want to give you a brief history on slavery.
Okay. Now, you just heard it from the YT man, all right? He just broke it down perfectly, okay? Said that the Arabs designed it. The small hats marketed it. The Hamites, they enabled it. And the so-called Negroes was the victim of it. Okay? Of the slave trade. All right? They don't tell you that in school. They don't give you that history. All right? And pretty soon they want to make it seem like that it was voluntary. Okay? That we came over here voluntarily to work. Okay? For 400 years or 500 years without pay. All right? That's what we came to do. We came over here to get beat. Okay? To be discriminated against. Up until this day, okay, to be redlined, to be shorted out of the market, okay. They're not telling you their part in it, all right. They want to make it seem like we were the same Africans that sold us into slavery. No, he just broke it down. He told you we came out of Israel into Africa with our own way. Okay? With our own people, with our own culture that did not match any of the other cultures. Came down with laws, statutes, and commandments. All right? That made us different from the other people. Because the Most High, He made us different than the other people. Okay? Let me just get that real quick. Let me just get that. Alright? I ain't had that one planned, but I'm going to just get it anyway. Alright? This is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai thy power, the Lord thy power, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." And that's why he kept calling us regal. The regal house of Judah. Okay? We're above these heathen, man. And he explained it well. All right? So let me get a couple scriptures. This is Joel 3. I'm going to start at 1. "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." Okay? That's how they scattered us. through that slave trade, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. Yeah, they took everything from us, man. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, okay, that ye may remove them far from their border. Okay? And that's talking about, the Arabs and the Hamites, man. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So, get ready to be recompensed for that which happened a long time ago. Okay, the Most High required that which is past. Just because you haven't gotten punished for it yet doesn't mean that you're not going to get punished for it. You will get punished. Just like Joe Biden said back in the day, you will vote on whether they get a small C-hip in them. You will vote on that. Okay? So you will pay. You're going to pay. All right? And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans and to a people far off, for the Lord Yahweh Shai has spoken it. Payback. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Okay. Now that's going into the war. Okay. I don't need to read all that. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 32. It says, thy son and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and will fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand. Exactly. We didn't have any might in our hand to stop that, because that was a curse of the Lord. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, the 32nd verse. That's in the curses. The Lord's word stands. He said he was going to, scatter us, and that's what he did. And he used, those three, the so-called Africans, the so-called Arabs, and the so-called small hats. Well, the small hats. Okay? He used them to do it. All right? Deuteronomy 28, start at 63. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord Yahweh Shai rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, when you were doing right, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught, when you break his laws, statutes, and commandments. And ye shall be plucked off the land whither thou goest to possess it. Okay? And he plucked us off. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. Okay? And that's how it happened. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord Yahweh Shai shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. And that's the state we're in now. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, Okay? Just like Ice Cube made that song, Today Was a Good Day. He was calling out the things that didn't go wrong. Okay? Because things are known to go wrong, and there's no surety of life in America or in the world even. It says, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life. Exactly. Because Esau could come in at any minute. You know, you hear the stories on the TV, on the news, you know, where they're just break into somebody's house, you know, say they got a search warrant, and go in there and just blast them and kill them. And, oh, we got the wrong house. Okay? We got the wrong house. But the person in there is dead. They done killed the wrong person. Okay? In the morning thou shalt say, would the Most High it were even. And at even thou shalt say, would the Most High it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see. Okay? Because everything, all we see is destruction around us. Okay? Our neighborhoods are made with destruction in them. You got Esau patrolling around. Okay? Over here where I live, 2 o'clock in the morning, they speeding with the sirens on. Okay? Waking you up out of your sleep. Where I used to live, the fire truck used to come 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning, just blasting down the street, you know, with their lights on and blasting the horns, and ain't nobody even on the street. The streets is clear. Nobody, no cars on the street, but they just blasting up and down the street with the sirens on. Okay, being demons, man. It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Okay? And everybody should know what that scripture mean by now. All right? Nobody gonna buy you, man. Nobody's going to save us. Nobody saved us out of this situation we're in here. Only one can save us is Yahweh Shai, and that's what his name means. Yah, he, Yahweh Shai, to deliver or to save. Okay? Amos 2 and 4 and 5, it says, thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, for 3 transgression of Judah, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have despised the law of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and have not kept his commandments, and their lies caused them to err, after the which their fathers have walked. But I will send a fire upon Judah, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem. Exactly. So it's because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord did this to us, brought those nations upon us. Okay? Obadiah 1, I'm going to start at 8. Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? Okay, now you're going to get punished for doing that, though. Okay? And understanding out of the mount of Esau, and we know who Esau Edom is. And thy mighty man, O Teman, same person, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Okay? That's your judgment for this evil E. Okay? For getting it all together. All right? For being the money behind it. Okay? Like you're the money behind all the other things that's happening now. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Exactly. It's not going to be any more the house of E. All right. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered to his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Okay? That's going even before. Okay? So, you're going to pay. You're going to pay for it. Revelation 18, I'm going to start at 8. Therefore her plagues shall come in one day, death and mourning and famine. Okay, it's talking about Babylon the Great over here. You know, the main place where you brought the slaves. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judges her, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Exactly. They were all in cahoots together, and even to this day, they're in cahoots together. All right? The Africans, they can, the Africans can come over here and get along. The Arabs can get along. Everybody can get along, but the people that lives here, the so-called Negroes, can't get a loan to start a business in their own neighborhood. Okay? It says, and the kings of the earth, Salah. Salak. I'm going to just go back. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her. And when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off, for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Exactly. This place is going down in 1 hour. Okay? And all the merchants that, did all those things, they're going to stand off and watch it burn up. Okay? But afterwards, they're going into captivity as well. Okay? They're going into captivity. All right? It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Exactly. This has become a cash cow for them. Okay? And the main consumers is the Israelites. All right? The merchants of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and of fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and of iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. Slaves, okay, and souls of men. All right? So let you know that this is the place where they sold the slaves. All right? But there's punishment coming. All right? You're not getting away with it. All right? Jeremiah 10:25. Pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not, and upon the families that call not on thy name, for they have eaten up Jacob. Okay? and devoured him, and consumed him, and have made his habitation desolate. Okay, and who is Jacob? The 12 tribes. All right, the ones that were not only Judah was sold, the other nations, the other tribes were sold as well. Okay, they were in the slave trade as well. All right, they don't speak too much on that, but they were in the slave trade as well. Okay, they're being treated the same way that we're being treated over here. Okay, as so-called Negroes. Okay, as so-called the Southern Kingdom. The Northern Kingdom is being treated the same way. Okay, looked down upon. Okay, all manner of atrocities being done to them, hung. Okay, castrated. Okay, they hung the women up, ripped the baby out of the mother's belly, cut the baby, and stomped on the baby's head. Just being devils, man. So they're gonna have to pay, and they will pay. All right. So I'm gonna end it right there, man. We know what time it is. All right. We're circling the drain on this place. Time is almost up on Babylon the Great. Time of Jacob's trouble. It's right around the corner, man. All right. And this thing right here, you already know what it is. It's in the news. All right. It's in the news. All right. And they talking about that ain't no back in the day. Ain't no RFID chip. Making fun of it. Baloo putting a chip on his hand, a potato chip. Said, look, I got the chip. Okay. This right here, right around the corner. All right. And after the War of Armageddon, that's going to be the last war. And it's going to destroy this place. This place is going to be engulfed from sea to shining sea. This is going to be a memorial on how not to run a nation or a civilization or an empire, whatever you want to call it, in wickedness. For the Lord will destroy it. Okay? The whole of it. All right? So I'm going to end it right there, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to you, Akim. We have to speak the kingdom of heaven into existence on a daily, man. So we're definitely almost out of this piece. All right? The chariots, they are in view. All right, they are in view. Let me just pull this. Let me see if I can pull this picture up right quick. Okay, cause I caught one. I'll be seeing them. Let me see. I don't want to. Let me see if I can get it on camera. Right there. Okay. They are here. The Lord, the angels, they are here. All right. They're making themselves known. All right. So Lord willing, it was an edifying lesson. Till the next time, I want to say Shalom.